with my co-host,
OG Krongstad.
and today it is episode 54 of the OG podcast. Unfortunately, due to vehicular events, Bezoid will not be here today, so it's just me and the OG. Back to the back to the OG too. Um, so OG, how was your holidays, man?
It was cool. On for the most part, I just kind of relaxed and chilled as much as I could. Um, as far as gaming, I grinded hard, and I mean super hard. And in the Final Fantasy War game, A New Empire, they had an event where basically, if you slayed some goblins, you got like millions of like resources, tens of thousands of gold, all kinds of just mess to help you build up faster. And man, did I build up like really, really strong. Like I've gotten to the point right now where I'm actually one of the strongest people in the guild that I'm currently in right now, which is pretty crazy. Because apparently there wasn't too many people on my guild grinding nearly as hard as I was, and I'm like, this is like the one and perfect time to grind because it's
Dang,
actually worth it.
that
So
ain't the one time I didn't
yeah.
grind at all.
Oh yeah, this past week or two, I would say was like the best week play of the game. Period. Because like the game was literally giving away stuff that normally you have to pay 99.99 for.
Nine
Um,
ninety nine.
yeah. So I didn't have to spend $100. I just had to grind for a bit, and I was able to become pretty strong. So got some tier 3 traps, tier 3 troops, all kinds of good stuff. I even did a video about where I'm currently at. I'm a little bit stronger than I am when I made the video, but I made a video when I hit level 20, so people can see what I did to grind, things like that. I was really really happy and proud of that, so that was really cool.
Th-
But that was the main game I was grinding in for the most part, other than Seven Nights.
that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I didn't get to do no grinding these past
now
two
you're
weeks.
doing family stuff.
Well, yeah, I was out. I was out. Went to New Mexico, of course, and then right when I got back from New Mexico, I got sick. So I was out for the count. Like yesterday, yesterday and the day before, and were like the first 3 days that I've been back to streaming. I even took another week off from streaming because I was just so sick. Um, Yo,
Mm.
thank you so much for that raid, Crew Dizzle, man. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. With that raid, do. Thank you, all you people that have came and landed using Crew Dog Airlines. Thank you guys for flying Crew Dog. Um, Hopefully you wear your seatbelts because I hear he's a pretty crazy driver. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Bags are free.
Yeah. So yeah, I was pretty much like as soon as I got home I was sick. But in my defense, my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, they have a bunch of animals. And what I mean by a bunch of animals, they have four gerbils, four guinea pigs, a turtle, a cat, and a dog. And they all live in the house. So
Oh, so you got a zoo in there.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, pretty much. I had a zoo. Um, so I feel like that's what got me sick. Now I'm better, and now my wife's sick and my kid's sick. So that's
Oh
awesome.
no.
Yeah. Um, so I really didn't get to play a lot of video games because, like, I don't know, like when I'm really sick, I don't like to play video games. Like because I can't focus. I can't focus the way I want to. Uh, Stephanie leaves the afternoon to head to Connecticut, stay with my mom while going to school. Man, that's what's up though. I bet you're gonna like having your daughter in town with you, crew dog. Makes things a lot easier. You don't have to travel so far. So yeah, I did that. Got a few cool, awesome gifts. My wife got me an actual custom made Yeti cup with my logo made on it, and it was like it's made out of metal, so it's like it's really cool. So I have like this
Okay.
big like coffee. I'll show you. I'll probably take it with me to PAX on when we go to PAX.
Which is a week and a half, by the
It
way.
is a week and a half, and I've already got confirmation. Our passes are already gonna be there. I actually got the email yesterday. All we got to do is just show up.
Nice.
And pretty much my wife said that she will be able to take us Saturday and
Oh,
Sunday.
sweet.
Saturday and Sunday, but we just gotta find a ride on Friday. I haven't heard
Okay.
from Tim, so I don't know. I don't know.
We may end up Ubering it up. We'll see.
We may have a one day of Uber. Who knows?
Yeah.
She says she will be 2 hours away. Much better than having to get. Yeah, exactly. Much better than having to get a flight. Although it's gonna be sad because, your San Antonio friends will barely see you guys, I'm sure. But it all works out, man. What you gotta do is you gotta do for your family, man. I'm happy for you, man. I'm excited for you. I'm ecstatic. So Grandpa will kill you, Junior, with that auto host, man. Thank you so much for that auto host.
Nice.
So, but the days that I did try to play video games, I played a lot of Overwatch.
Okay.
Oh,
Back on Overwatch, huh?
I love that game. I just can't put that game down. I love that game. When I'm not streaming, that is the game I'm playing. In fact, I'm probably gonna play it tomorrow during Able Gamers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the new season started, so I'm trying to get
on that grind.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on that grind to get into better rank. But here's the funny thing. I go to go play the first game on Xbox, right? Because I kind of use Xbox as my dummy account now. Because I have a lot more hardcore players that play Overwatch on PlayStation. Hence the Bezoid. So I was like, well, let me just get these out the way. Well, the first game I play, so for some reason, Xbox Overwatch decides to ban me for 7 hours. Don't know why, but I got banned
You're showing you're showing Sony too much love. That's why they banned you.
I guess. I was just like, oh my Jesus. And then pretty much what's been happening, as soon as I got back and I tried streaming like yesterday and the day before, my computer kept getting the blue screen of death. And I was like, this is not cool. But it would only happen when I was streaming. So I was like, So I did some handy tinkering, and hopefully I will not have a blue screen of death. I had to do some like major updates apparently that I didn't know.
Okay.
And hopefully we won't have blue screen of death. But you never know.
Hopefully.
If not, then I gotta reboot and do all that stuff again. That was crazy. And then yeah, and then we went to White Sands, New Mexico. And I saw the White Sands. I don't recommend it for people that are handicapped. It's not handicap accessible at all.
Not at all.
Basically, pretty much, I just sat there and watched other people play. But hey, it was cool because my daughter got to experience, so that works.
There you go.
Sometimes you gotta take one for the team. But if you
you're a parent.
Yep. Say Lou, thank you so much for that host, man. I don't know why the host worked yesterday, but it didn't work today. I don't know what's going on anymore. But yeah, so if you are disabled or in a wheelchair or have a hard time walking, White Sands, New Mexico is not the thing for you, just because there's no way for you to there's no wheelchair path to go and see the dunes or anything like that. So pretty much you're just looking at white sand the whole time. But I still had a blast. It was still cool. My host alert your host alert hasn't worked for a long time. Yeah, I think it's Stream Elements, dude. There's people that think I'm crazy, but I think something is wrong with Stream Elements. I've been pondering going back to getting away from Stream Elements and going to Ankbot, but I'm not sure yet. I haven't made the decision. I didn't get any new games or anything. I did download a new character on Injustice 2. I downloaded Starfire because my
Oh,
nephew
nice.
my nephew came to me and said, "Uncle, my favorite videos of yours are your Injustice 2 videos. Can you please make more Injustice 2 videos?"
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Okay." Um, he
Okay.
he actually he's actually an inspired YouTuber. He says he wants to be a professional YouTuber when he grows up.
Oh, nice.
So he's got his little camera and stuff, and he was like, because I get a lot of people confuse what I do with YouTube, but it's not YouTube, it's Twitch. But he was "Can you teach me how to do YouTube?" So that's why we did the Family Bean Boozled challenge. While I was gone, I uploaded that video. I actually did all the editing and all the recording from my phone. And basically,
Wow.
for the people that don't know what the Bean Boozled challenge is, it's a jelly bean. There's these jelly beans. Each jelly bean has like two of the same color, but each, like, say there's two red jelly beans, two blue jelly beans, two white jelly beans, two yellow jelly beans, two green jelly beans. Okay, but one jelly bean is a good flavor and one jelly bean is a real bad flavor. And what I mean by real bad flavor, I mean one could be stinky socks, one could be dead fish, one could be rotten
Oh, I've
milk,
heard of this.
one could be
Yeah.
rotten milk, the other one can be what's the other one? Oh, the one that almost made me throw up. Rotten egg. That literally almost made me puke.
Oh.
And believe it or not, the taste and the smell, like, well, they don't smell. If you try to smell which one's the bad jelly bean, you're not gonna smell it. But when the taste, it is like on point, and I mean on a point. I don't know how they put these in jelly beans, but it is on point. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much been my week. You know, just chilled,
Mm.
relaxed, tried to play some games, got better, enjoyed my family time, and hung out.
There you go.
We also did a giveaway yesterday on the stream. We did
Nice.
the followers got a 1 month free sub, and then the subs got a $20 Amazon gift card. So
Hey, there you go.
congratulations to Bezoid, and congratulations to Nemo. Nemo won the free sub, and Bezoid won the $20 gift card. So
Nice.
that's pretty cool. Ghost said my brother made me play that game on Christmas Day. Told you, man. That game is ruthless, man. I can't do that game no more. I played it one or two times, I'm done. The kids, though, they just loved eating the darn jelly beans. I was like, dang. They didn't care they were bad. Gotta make them throw up. I want another one. I want another one. Oh, my Jesus, man. My sister-in-law, the one here in San Antonio, ended up wanting to play it on New Year's. And I was like, y'all play
Uh-oh.
that by yourselves. I ain't playing. But you ain't gonna
Nice.
catch me throwing up. But yeah, that's been pretty much my week, man. Just trying
All
to
right.
get back into this streaming schedule. I'm gonna tell you what, not streaming for 2 weeks is weird.
Oh, yeah.
It felt really weird. And then what really felt weird was like what made me feel bad. It's like right when I wasn't streaming, I got my paycheck from Twitch, and I was like, I don't deserve this. I haven't been streaming, but yeah. But it's good to be back. Good to be hanging
Oh,
with
yeah.
you guys and stuff. So, what did you do the Wednesdays you were off? You just chilled and relaxed?
Well, I had to work, so I mean, I pretty much I slept in because I don't usually typically get up until about 10, 11 in the morning. So I actually slept in like I normally do. And then I just got up, did what little grinding I needed to do, had some food, did some house chores, and went to work. I mean, that's pretty much what I did. Um, Something I kind of wanted to bring up too that I forgot is our boy Philip ended
Uh-oh.
up uh, ended up finding a box of Super Mario cereal.
Really?
Yes,
Where?
we were actually chatting the other day, and I was telling about how I've been to a bunch of stores and no one's been selling it, and then like maybe a day or two later, he found it in our hometown of Shirts.
Oh, leave it
That's right.
those shirts, man.
Yeah, the mean streets of Shirts, Texas. What you know about that?
What you know? Hey, you know what? Main Streets of Shirts is not very far off, man. A lot of crazy stuff's been going on in Shirts, Texas. I don't know if you know. A lot of shootings. Just saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
People been shooting over Super Mario cereal, I guess.
I guess so. But yeah, it was at a Walmart in Shirts. That's he actually took the picture while he was there with them holding like, the box of cereal, and I was like, wow.
Did he buy it though? That is the question.
Yeah, well, yeah, he actually was purchasing it. I haven't talked to him since then, so I don't know if he actually enjoyed it or not, or if he's just collecting it. But I mean, I would assume he would at least eat it and then keep the box. But I mean, I'll have to call him later and
I don't know.
see what he
I'm
thought.
weird. I would buy 2 boxes. I would buy one box to eat and one box to not even open.
Well, see, the problem is, the food will like sit there forever, and it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I think I would empty out the box,
I don't
and
know. I
keep
don't
the
know.
box.
It's kind of non-perishable if you think about it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I
I don't
mean,
know. I just feel
you're
weird
never
about it.
gonna open it anyway. I mean, unless you're like, unless you're in like in a zombie apocalypse situation and
Yeah,
you need food. But then at that very point in time, are you really caring if your food is still at that point? As long as it's
yeah,
edible. I mean, it's.
maybe.
I don't know. I would buy 2 boxes. I would buy 2 boxes. That's crazy though. Of all people to be able to find it. Oh, good old Philip.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, he surprises us. He surprises me every now and then. He really does.
Speaking of which, he added me on Messenger the other day, but it was weird because it just said Philip Sledge and I just said his last name Rip, but uh, this is but it was like no picture, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not responding to this. I don't know if you're really Philip, so yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been getting Facebook hacked. My wife was actually Facebook hacked over the holidays.
Uh-oh.
It was pretty crazy. Um, yeah, and they actually tried to start all this drama because I didn't know
Of course.
I didn't know it was who I didn't know it was wasn't my wife, and I'm like, what the actual duck? And yeah,
Uh-oh.
it was pretty crazy. It was nuts. So be aware. Don't touch any. If you don't know the person that you don't know the person, like if you really don't know the person, and they send you like a video link or something, don't press it. That's how they're
Don't do
getting
it.
you. Don't do it. That's how they're getting you. They got my wife. They got a bunch of people, and I just been like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just chilling. I'm not answering, not responding. There's even one where if you even respond back to somebody, you don't even gotta freaking uh like click on the video. You just respond back in a message, and all of a sudden they got a hold of your account information, and they're in your Facebook. So
We actually had something similar happen at my old job. We used to use, I believe it was Yahoo
yeah,
Chat.
yeah,
And what happened is like a lot of people at work were apparently getting hacked because what would happen is you would get a chat from one of your coworkers that said some blanket statement. So you would, you know, respond back, hit send, and all of a sudden you're getting spammed with a bunch of crap.
yep.
And it happened to like half the people, half of the supervisors at work and everything. I knew better. I saw how the message was sent, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. So I called tech services and I'm like, hey guys, something's going on. I'm getting this weird thing. Y'all come check it out. And they were like, don't click the link. Okay.
Don't do it. It's defective. Remember that? Uh,
Yep.
Good old Josh.
Yep.
It's
Good old Josh.
defective. Don't do it. Oh.
Dramatic. Oh man,
Oh.
good times.
Good times,
But
man. But
yeah,
yeah.
be careful with that online stuff. If it seems weird, it doesn't make sense, or if you see it, get an email where a bunch of things are just spelled wrong, delete it, like reverse it to spam, whatever. Just don't like mess with, like touch it, get rid of it
So
immediately.
I would tell you exactly what happened in my situation because I think it'd be good entertainment. Um, so okay, so first my wife's cousin gets hacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then what happened with that was, uh, he was messaging my wife. Well, then all of a sudden my wife was getting weird messages from him, like like sexual messages, like it was really weird, right?
Mm.
Okay, well, my wife was like, what the heck? And then, well, she responded, like, what the heck or whatever. Well, then
Mm-hmm.
she got hacked. Well, then whoever hacked her screenshotted whatever he said to my wife, and they sent it to me. And
Uh-oh.
I'm like, what? And I was just like, yeah, it was pretty bad. And I just didn't
Mm-hmm.
respond. I didn't do nothing, so I didn't get hacked. But
That's good.
it was pretty nuts. It was pretty crazy. Somebody trying to
Oh yeah.
sabotage. But
Oh yeah.
yeah. So be careful out there in Facebook land. Um, it's pretty nuts.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
my wife completely deleted Facebook completely. Um, she's uh, she's just not messing with Facebook no more.
She's done with it.
She's done with it. Like her profile's still
That's
there.
how a lot of people have become these days. I notice a lot of people are just kind of to the point care too much about Facebook anymore, just because there's so many things happening to their accounts and whatnot that they just don't want to deal with it no more. And I can't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name's not gonna do nothing about it. So, the owner, I
Yeah.
mean, why is it that Snapchat's got better security than Facebook? I mean,
Mm.
hello, and actually Snapchat's going out of business. I mean, in a sense. So,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
That'll
So,
make no sense.
it don't make no sense. So, and Facebook's like one of the richest Facebook is like one of the richest companies right now, and everybody's talking about this Bitcoin and all this stuff. Speaking of rich, but
Mm.
Bitcoin's about to be going out of business. So if you've invested in Bitcoin,
Sorry.
the government's coming down on it. For those that don't know, um, Bitcoin is like electronic money and it's like encrypted money. Um, it's been around for a while, but it never took off until recently. Like I literally had somebody give me Bitcoin back in like the MySpace ages, right?
Oh.
But I was like, whatever. This is never gonna do nothing, right? So I like got rid of it, right? I was just like, whatever. Now that Bitcoin is like worth like millions of dollars, but the government's trying to crack down on it. So we'll see what happens. Once the
Mm.
government cracks down on it, it's a done deal. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather invest in actual stocks instead of
Yeah.
like
Like real money.
yeah, yeah. Just me personally, just to be safe. If I was to invest in anything, and me, I'd invest in a company that's like always gonna be around. Like General Mills is always gonna be around, right? You're always gonna
Mm-hmm.
have like General Mills, like your Cheerios and those kind of companies are always gonna be around. Yes, it's gonna be a longer term investment, but you your money's more safe with something like that than something like my sister-in-law wants to invest in Tesla, like the car company Tesla, like those
Okay.
new electric cars, and like
Yeah.
eh, I don't know, because those to me those are waves,
It's high risk, high reward is basically what it is. Like if she gets lucky, she's gonna get paid out big, but if she loses, man, it's gonna suck. But
yeah.
it's one of those things. Sometimes to make money, you gotta spend money and you gotta take risks. So my hats off to her.
Yo, thank you for the biddies. 20, 30,
So,
40. Thank you for the biddies there, boobies. And Crew Dot just said Bitcoin is actually 9 years old today. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I was like trying to explain. She's like, my sister-in-law's like, no, Bitcoin just came out. And I'm like, no, you're just now hearing about it. Bitcoin's been out for a long time. But yeah, she like, and then she's invested in Bitcoin and Litecoin. She's invested in all the currencies. But the funny thing is they just passed I don't know why I'm getting into this. Something just got me speaking about this. Somebody needs to hear this. They just passed a law though that a tax law as of January 1st that any Bitcoin trading, like say for instance, say if I give you some Bitcoin or I give you some whatever, it now gets taxed. All trading gets taxed. So yeah, and that's because people have been trading Litecoin into Bitcoin, so and so forth and so forth. So yeah, if you are really wanting to get into that stuff, please do your research. Please don't just buy into the everybody going, oh, getting into Bitcoin and all them YouTube commercials. Please be careful. Because you could really lose out a lot of money. I don't know why or how I got into that, but it was just a conversation that me and my sister were having, and then it was just funny. And then like yesterday, I did some research and realized that they just passed that law. So if you're looking into stocks, get into some natural stocks, some real stocks. I still kick myself in the butt that I didn't buy into Apple when it was down. When Apple was like at one point $50 a share or $30 a share. Rip.
Could have been rich.
I could have been rich. I could have. Yeah. My advice on Bitcoin and the like is don't invest more than you're willing to. Yeah, exactly. You're better, and that's a good advice when it comes to like any investment. You know what I mean? If you're not willing to lose it, don't invest it. That's really good advice.
If you need it, don't invest it.
The government has, yeah, exactly. The government's always going to figure out something. Since we're talking about government and stuff, a little known factor that they've also passed in California, medicinal marijuana is now legal in California as of January 1st. You are now able to light up even if you don't have a medical license. And now there are some drawbacks. You cannot do it in public still, and you cannot be under the influence when you're driving. But you are allowed to. They can't come in your home and arrest you or give you a ticket for doing the medicinal stuff anymore. And they also have made it legal to sell medicinal in stores now.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and what it was coming out to be is it's $11. It was like $11. $11 a gram. It's kind of expensive, but not that bad. So, just throwing that out there. I thought maybe I would share that with you guys. It's pretty crazy. Laws are changing. Normally I don't talk about stuff like that, but found that to be pretty interesting. That actually the state has actually went on to legalize it. So I don't know. It may be coming. It may be coming. Other than that, OG, why don't you hit us up with some gaming knowledge, buddy?
Yeah, back to video game, which is what this podcast is all about. Wanted to bring up kind of a topic that I brought up a while back, but I found out some more stuff after the fact. So if you remember a few episodes back, I brought up the whole Niantic crash with Pokemon Go, where
Yes.
they basically failed and failed hard, as
Yes.
far as like having any kind of cell service unless
And
you had like
Sprint
I
was
think
the
it was
savior.
Sprint.
Sprint
Yeah,
was the
Sprint
savior.
was like the only savior that anyone had. So if you had Sprint, you were legit, but if you didn't, you sucked.
Right.
Not that we're trying to advertise them, but I mean that's
No,
just
I'm a
facts.
AT&T. I'm an AT&T guy myself. So
Yep, right
AT&T.
now Metro PCS. That's me right now.
Nice.
But either way, so apparently after the fact, there is now a class action lawsuit being brought against the company of Niantic for what happened. Basically, what's happening is people are wanting to sue for travel expenses and things like that. Now, I noticed I mentioned the word class action suit though. So for those who don't know, that basically means that it's not a personal lawsuit, it's a lawsuit as a whole. So basically, if the company loses, they have to pay out damages to everybody that showed up. So that's pretty much what it is. And the whatever the money is gets split up amongst all the people that went more or less.
I think that's pretty
So
stupid, to be honest.
I kind of agree. Because the problem that I have with it is that yeah, they didn't necessarily deliver, but on top of that, they actually did compensate people. Like for example, they refunded everybody that went, so everyone's paid tickets got paid for. They even gave them like $100 in free Pokemon money that they could spend on the game however they wanted, and on top of that, apparently they gave them like a rare Pokemon as well that for free, with where everybody else would have to like struggle to get. They gave it away for free for the inconvenience,
Mm-hmm.
and still they're trying to sue them.
That's crazy.
So
I find I don't know. I just think I don't know, man. Like that's like me going to PAX and being like, um, well, this event wasn't as much as great as I thought it would be. I'm gonna sue. That's how I just I don't know. I think when it comes to
th-
stuff like that, I just feel like you go at your own risk when it comes to stuff like that.
yeah, anytime you go to a convention, you're going at your own risk, like you said. Because I mean, I've been to a lot of conventions myself, mostly for anime, and some years are better than others. But I'm not screaming refund, refund. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they gave me lots of goodies. I had a good time overall. And even if it wasn't the best time, there's still no reason for me to necessarily sue. Now, granted, nothing as crazy as what happened at Niantic ever happened at any of the events I went to. Some crazy stuff, but nothing that crazy. But nothing that I would could think is worth a lawsuit, and I don't think this really deserves that big of a lawsuit. Like, yeah, they failed, but they did compensate hard. Again, everybody got refunded. Everybody got at least $100+ worth of free stuff on top of being refunded. I mean, they were compensating. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand that sometimes traveling can be expensive, especially if you fly or whatever. I get that, but at the same time,
You
this
weren't promised, and it wasn't like you were promised you to have the best experience of your life. They didn't promise everything was gonna work. I mean, what can you do? I mean, things happen. Like I don't know. I just think it's stupid to actually sit
Mhm.
down and like sue somebody. I feel like nobody physically got hurt, nobody physically got injured. No, that's just I don't know. It's dumb. You know,
Yeah,
like what were you expecting to get out of this event? A bunch of digital pets, right? A bunch of digital
right.
Pokemon. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. It's like it didn't affect your life in a negative way. You know,
Yeah, it wasn't like life altering.
no,
There was
no,
no fires or shootings or anything crazy like that. I mean, you just wasn't able to play the game.
they
Which,
didn't.
yes, granted, it sucked, but still not with a lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, granted, they might they should have been compensated something like as far as like at the event, which you said they did. So
Yeah.
that's good enough. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. Why go further? Like, oh my god, like that's just crazy. That's how the world is. It's like, okay, well, I didn't like the free stuff that I got, so I want a lawsuit now. And the sad thing
Yeah.
is, they'll probably win.
Yeah.
The sad
They'll
thing is
probably win.
because I was reading another article about cuz Nintendo lost that. Remember when we were reporting about that Wii situation? The Wii
Mm-hmm.
remote situation? Well, they lost it, okay? And then they tried to appeal or whatever, and they lost that. So
Yep.
Nintendo's lost over $10 million over that thing, and it makes no sense because the Wii remotes were strictly made for gaming. The company is trying to say that Nintendo stole their technology, but how did they steal it when Nintendo's using it for like two different things? The company was using it for like when you fell over, it was supposed to alarm somebody.
Like
They
Life Alert.
like
Yeah.
Life Alert, and Nintendo is using it to play video games. How is that?
Yep.
How is that? I don't. I just don't understand. And even then, they couldn't even prove that it was actually their technology to say that, oh no, it's actually ours. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And it's just like really like now Nintendo loses $10 million. Like, oh my god.
The
But
bottom line, honestly, is money. People see another company with their similar technology making money, so they want to cash in on it, and the best way to do it is to sue them. Because if they can prove that one, they had similar technology, and two, they did it first, they have a chance of winning, even if it serves different purposes. If it's if you have a good enough lawyer that can prove that it's similar enough, and you did it first, you're more than likely going to win. Technicalities. That's how you win. Technicalities.
see, that's to me, that's not justice.
I
To
mean,
me,
it's almost like when the World Wildlife Federation sued the WWF
yeah, that was
for the
for the F. You are,
because
yeah, I remember that. Go ahead.
I mean they really had nothing against them until all of a sudden WWF blew up. And all of a sudden, wait a minute, we have WWF in our title too. Let's sue them, and then they had to change it to WWE. Like
Uh,
that's what happened. The bottom line is money.
And
That's what it boils
the
down to.
funny thing
Money.
was, the funny thing I remember this argument too. They're like, well, when people donate to the World Wildlife Foundation, they get confused with the WWF, so they need to change their name.
Yeah, because those are totally the same thing. Yeah, wrestling and wildlife. Yeah, they have so much in
Yeah,
common.
yeah, yeah. And I was just like, I don't know. It's just dumb, man. I was like, that's crazy though,
Hmm.
man. That's crazy. That is really
Yeah, like
crazy.
I saw that and I was just like, that's again, that's just what people do for money. You know what I mean? The easiest way to make money is to sue somebody. That's just what it's boiling down to these
Booby
days, and
said
that's
this.
why Nintendo's getting hit.
Booby said this. I wish the law would provide for an automatic award of legal fees if the defense wins a case. The pin the pin the plaintiff I think she meant plaintiff. The plaintiff makes the choice to sue, so they would spend the money on legal fees either way. But defendants don't have to choose. They are they are out thousands and thousands of dollars. Dang, that's crazy. I never knew that. That sucks.
Yep,
Maybe it would make people think twice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have a good
that's
point
true.
there. You have a
Because a lot of people won't do it if they have to shell out a bunch of money for it. They're like, yeah, maybe it's not worth it. So I get where she's coming from. That would stop a lot of these, what I call phantom lawsuits, because that's all they are. They're just different companies just trying to cash in on other people's profits. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
No, it would be one thing if it was, I would understand these lawsuits if it constituted a direct competition,
Right.
but these companies have absolutely nothing to do with each other, and that's where the problem is. There's no competition whatsoever. There's no, well, if you have this, you could do this instead. It's not like the company that sued Nintendo was at any kind of like
Gaming, it had
race to
nothing.
beat them.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with gaming. Nothing whatsoever. I'd never even heard of the company until now. Well,
Yeah,
until we
um,
first reported on it. Um,
right.
and I'm like, huh? There's that technology. Where was that when I was falling over? You know,
Yeah.
for real, I needed that.
Hmm.
Where's that technology at now? And it's just like, seriously, people like just trying to get ahead and take people's money. And I mean, of course, Nintendo's doing well now, so I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this Nintendo
I mean,
Switch.
Nintendo can afford it, but it's really the principle. Like, and I understand why Nintendo was fighting it because it's BS, and I totally agree with them.
Right, no, I totally agree. I totally agree. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, you could sue people for that, but then, you have all these other things that are so similar that nobody touches. You know what I
Well,
mean?
except for the three-way lawsuit between Blizzard, Ucool, and I forgot the third company, but it was the three mobile gaming company. Well, it was Blizzard and two mobile gaming companies going at it because they have like some games that have like similar technology, similar looks, and whatnot. Now that's legitimate because they're actually direct competitors. So that lawsuit makes sense, which I haven't even heard a final result on. Apparently, they're still duking it out. But this other stuff, they have nothing to do with each other and should not be in court together at all.
Yeah, definitely agree. Booby said this facts. The only people who get rich in class action lawsuits are the one, the one, the one fifth named plaintiffs, the first class members, and their attorneys. The rest of the class of the people who join it only get um, pennies on the dollar. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, that's the problem with class action lawsuits is that anyone who does win doesn't really win that much. I mean, you'd have been better off having your own personal suit against them rather than a class action. Not that I'm thinking that that should have happened anyway, but yeah, class action lawsuits are not a way to make money. I mean, you think you will because it's this big company and you're gonna make something, but when it involves hundreds of people or thousands, I'm not too sure how many people showed up, but when it involves that many people, that money gets divided amongst everybody, and yeah, you don't win. You really don't.
DB said I made $1,500 by joining a class action lawsuit against Verizon. Dang, that's crazy.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
dang. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I've never been in the Well, um, I've been in the position to sue. I was actually in an accident with Via Transit. And for those that don't know what Via Transit is the like one of those like bus companies that like shuttle people around. And when I was um I was being transported. This is why another reason why I don't. I'm very careful who I ride with. Not that it matters because everybody has this in their cars, but It's just another reason. They didn't belt me in properly as far as my wheelchair goes, and when they didn't belt me in properly, my wheelchair flew backwards, and I flew back and hit my head and my neck. It was all on camera. I could have sued, right? But the thing is, the moment that I get a big lump sum of money, which wasn't going to be a lot
The
of
state
lump
takes
sum,
it away.
the state takes it away. The state takes away my medical and takes away my check, and then on top of that, I have to pay all the money back that the state is giving me, and throughout the years for medical or through for disability. So the lawyer was like, he's like, yeah, you got a case, but by the end of the day, you ain't gonna have no money. He was like, you're better off to just like, deal with it. You got free medical, you got all that, and just be good. He was like, he's like, you got 2 years to do it. He's like, don't get me wrong, you got a great strong case. You're gonna win. We have video, everything. But he's like, to be honest, he's like, you won't make nothing from it, and then you'll be out of your disability check and everything. And I was like, well, yep. I was like, that's pretty stupid. I was like, I ain't gonna do it. So I didn't do it. Yeah. I remember, dude, Tim was so mad at me. Because you know how Tim is. Tim's like sue hungry. Like,
oh, yeah.
Whenever he sees an opportunity to sue, he'll sue. And he's like, bro, you'd be rich. And I'm like, bro, no, I wouldn't. I'd be broke.
Yep, you'd be broke right now.
Yeah, I'd be broke. And then, like, I would never be able to get my Social Security back. So I didn't sue. I just took it, went to the doctor, got all the medical stuff I needed, and I'm good. But yep. Some people, like, that's why I said there's sometimes a good time to sue, and there's really a lot of time. There's a couple good times to sue, and then there's a lot of bad times to sue. You know what I mean? There might be one good time when you sue. Yeah. But most of the time, 90% of the time is a bad time to sue. Speaking of sue and everything, I guess I'll go ahead and get the big apple out on the table. What everybody wants to talk. What everybody has been talking about. Like right now, let's see what DB said. I gotten, I think, 4 settlements over the from years from $5 to $1,500. Like right now, they are starting the one against Apple for slowing. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, Apple's like put they like I thought it was throttling. I didn't know it was slowing down. But Apple decided to roll out an update to on their phones, whether it either automatically slows down the phone or throttles the phone, and then it messes up the battery. So then Apple sits there and tells you, "Oh, we'll give you another battery, but you have to pay $23 for it or $33 for it." Really? Okay. I mean, again, that's paraphrasing. That's not me not knowing a lot about the story. That's just me just like, watching videos from here and there. But that's what I got from it. I thought it was pretty crazy. Again, that doesn't deal with me though. I deal with AT&T and Samsung, so they've been doing it for 4 years now. They just got called out on it. Yeah, I don't know. Apple should get called out on a lot of stuff. Just saying. I think Apple products are a joke. No offense to anybody that owns an Apple product, but I feel like when you have an Apple product next to an Android product, to me it feels like the Apple product is like years behind the Android product. That's just me. But slowed processing to preserve the life of the battery. That's crazy. Supposedly, that's crazy. So the big topic I'm going to talk about, because we don't have a lot of news today due to Bezoid not being here at the last minute. We didn't know, so we were kind of leaving some space for Bezoid. So for those that don't know, there was a terrible accident. It was a prank gone wrong, and I feel like this prank should never be done. In no shape or form do I think this prank is funny. Do I think this prank is cool or anything? Me and my wife were watching, because me and my wife watch a lot of Twitch fail videos. That's kind of like our America's Funniest Home Videos now. It's Twitch fail videos. And
Nice.
every time I see somebody get swatted, I would tell my wife, I was like, one day a cop's gonna like not have, is gonna be in that state of mind, and somebody's gonna, uh, it's social, it's social terrorism. Is that what it's called? Don't call it a prank. It's called social terrorism. Interesting. I've never heard of that term before. Um, and I told my wife, I said, one day when somebody's gonna get shot, you know, and that's what happened. You know, this person, they were. I mean, granted, the guy that got swatted was also talking a lot of mess too, but that still gives him no right for that person to do that. So basically, what happened was they were playing $1 wages. They were playing a game of Call of Duty for $1, and I guess what came down to it is the guy was like, "Well, okay, you lost, you won, or whatever," and the guy was like, "Oh, I'm gonna SWAT your house," and blah blah blah. Well, there's this known swatter that's like on Twitter. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to bring him any exposure, like publicity. But he confirmed he is actually responsible for the Dallas MLG bombing threats and stuff like that. And well, anyway, somebody messaged him the address, and then that guy follows that guy, and the guy that was supposed to be followed said, "You ain't gonna swap me," blah 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 blah. And so that kid, well, I don't know if he's a kid or not. He's probably in his young 20s. Decided, that guy decided to swat him, and the cop, they said, I don't remember exactly what they said they thought the call was, but they they shot the guy on sight. Like it was pretty bad, and he was a father. He was like a 28-year-old father, and basically he just got shot, and it's really sad. And what really made me mad about the whole thing was he was on an interview with Keemstar on Drama Alert, the guy that made the call, and Keemstar was like, "Well, do you feel responsible?" And he was like, "Well, technically it's not my fault. I didn't shoot the gun." And I'm like, "Are you flipping serious? Yes, you didn't shoot the gun, but you could have been that guy and said, 'You know what? No, I'm not gonna call. I'm not. I'm not gonna." You could have been that guy and said, "You know what? I'm not gonna call." But the guy
Sort
even,
of a guilty by association kind of thing.
well, I mean, I'm thinking about it like this: like he didn't have to call him. He could have.
Yeah.
He could have just been like, "No, I'm not gonna do it." But he even admitted in the interview also that people pay him through PayPal. He gets paid through PayPal to do SWATs. That's sickening. That makes me sick. That makes me sick.
You
Because
should probably explain what swatting is for those who don't know.
okay, what swatting is basically is calling the police station and saying that somebody's doing something illegal or very drastic, hurting somebody, killing or trying to kill somebody, and it gets the SWAT team involved, and it gets their house raided, and then they come to find out there was nothing wrong.
Almost what happened to us back in the old days with that guy that you beat up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you remember that, right? Yeah.
Because remember, we had about 6 to 8 cops in my house that night. It's something similar to that. So yeah, I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure that the general audience knew, because not everybody knows what that is.
Yeah, no. You're right. But yeah, so, and that's crazy. And are these people being prosecuted for making no. Not that I know of. The guy is arrested now, but he never got he never got arrested for the MLG Dallas thing, and he wasn't going. I mean, this dude doesn't get arrested because he says he can't get caught. I mean, he's arrested now. I think from what I understand, he's arrested now, but he's arrested for because the guy got killed. But no, this dude's been doing it for a while, and he hasn't been arrested. That's the thing that makes me sick. Because, you know, if I was to do something like that right now or whatever, I'd be getting arrested. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they get away with it. I don't know what's going on.
Technicalities.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, no, he should. He should be. Yeah, he should be. He should definitely, like, he should get some time. And,
sad altogether.
yeah, and DB just said, it says, it's hard to prove who's making the calls. A lot of times them use the emergency system for deaf people to make them. And then he said, and with all the phone numbers, it's so hard to face such a short time. Yeah, but I mean, it just, I don't know, man. So if you've ever done it to somebody, or if you've, like, you thought about doing it to somebody, please don't. Because
yeah, it's not cool.
It's not cool. And if for somebody to blame the cop, like, what do you expect? Like, things like this happen because they're on edge. They don't know what to expect. Things like this happen. Accidents like this happen. And unfortunately, this man lost his life because of this situation. And it sucks. And now this kid is without a father. And, you know, and like this happened all in front of him. And it happened in front of the dude's mom, like, you know, like the grandma. Like, it's just really, really sad. I was really sad. I don't know what changes are going to be made. I would hope some changes would be made. I wonder how these people know what kind of criminal activity to report to get. Yeah, I don't know. I know, what's her name? She's been swatted before. Optic Midnight, she's been swatted. She got swatted by somebody. A lot of people, a lot of quote unquote famous Twitch people have been swatted. It's not cool. It's not cool.
Yeah, you really shouldn't do that.
No. And the fact that the kid or the young adult had no remorse makes me sick. Like, it makes me sick because, you know, that's a loss of life. You know, due to, if you wouldn't have made the call, like, that person would still be alive over a freaking game.
Yeah.
They typically report a death, and so, yeah, something like that. I just didn't want to say what it was, so people like that maybe listening to this, or maybe listen to this later, be like, oh, that's how you do it. No, because I'm not trying to make it seem like, I'm not trying to promote it in any way, but this is something serious and it needs to stop. It definitely needs to stop. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. So I don't know what Twitch can do. You know, I'm pretty sure there's not really much anybody could do to prevent it from happening. In this case, he called and it said that, so, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't think Twitch specifically needs to do anything. It's just that people just need to be more responsible and a little more mature about things. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what you would do to defend against the situation. No, you're good. You're good, DB. You're good. No, you're good. That's why I'm like not reading your whole comments, because I understand you're explaining it to the chat, but if I explain it, then I'm explaining it to the world on how it's happening. Um, but definitely. So like it literally like saddened my heart. Like I just like looked at my wife like in disbelief, and I was just like, dang. I was like, I said this was gonna happen. Like
Hmm.
it just sucks. But on
Yeah.
other lighter news, go ahead. What you got? OG.
Depending on which topic to bring up. Well, yeah, why not? We'll bring up the one that you actually showed me. Now, I don't remember all of the details because I was a one-time watch, but I mean, I kind of get the gist of it.
Yes.
Apparently, there was an Easter egg in a game that was kind of perverted, not really worth it in my opinion because it's like pixelated mess. But apparently, there was an older game that if you did a bunch of like specific stuff, that you would be able to see like partial nudity in a pixelated game, like an old pixelated game. And I guess back in that time it would have been something for young people to, I guess, be all happy and excited about. But in all honesty, like it's not even really necessary. I don't
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
It was
It was
crazy.
really awkward.
The thing that blew my mind, it wasn't even like the partial nudity that blew my mind. It was the dialogue that came with the partial nudity. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty like it became like this whole sexual story. Yeah.
Hmm. It
It
literally changed the game. Yeah.
no, it was not Doom or Doom Nukem. I will tell you the game that it was. And you would just go in where you put in the code, and you would erase one word, and you would put in the word dirty, and then like
Yeah.
right when the game would start, it would talk about somebody and somebody with the woman. She was playing with herself, and the other two decided to get involved, and it acts out the whole thing. And
Yep.
guess who the maker of the game is? I give y'all one guess. I'll give y'all one guess to guess who the maker of the game is.
This is where we need like the Jeopardy theme
I
in the
know,
background.
dude, dude, dude. But I'm actually looking up the game real quick, so you might hear the video. Playboy? Nope.
That's a good guess, but no.
Nope. They should. You know, if a game like that, they should make it.
You would think that would be them, yeah.
You would. It is a well. Let's put it like this. It's a well-known gaming company today. Well known. I'm trying to think of. Um. Handy needs one more guess. No, I know. No, I know it. It's Activision. Yeah, it's Activision. Yep, Activision.
That's the one.
I'm just trying to look up the game name, cause I've never heard of this game in my life. Have you heard of
Yeah,
this?
when I saw that, I'd never heard of it either.
I didn't even know this game existed. It's like some. It's called um. Oh my god, this dude's ex. It was like made for the freaking. Look, I'm just gonna put it in the chat. Yeah, you guys can watch it.
Yeah, like honestly, I don't really know what it's called either, but it's just a really, really old game, made by Activision, and yeah, I mean they decided that.
Activision. Let me specify. Activision and Core. Activision and Core. But Activision knew the code was there apparently. So, which I thought it was pretty funny. That
Well, a lot of people didn't even know about it either. Like it was something that wasn't discovered until like years later.
right. Yeah, like 30 years. It was a third. It's like one of the oldest Easter eggs It's like a 30-year-old
Yeah,
Easter egg.
really, really old Easter egg.
But I was like, damn. I was like, of course, because you the partial nudity thing, yeah, whatever, okay. But like the actual like the dialogue of the story, I was like, whoa. I was like, oh my Jesus, oh my
Yep.
Jesus. Imagine if some kid read that, like, seriously, like, oh my God.
Hot coffee trouble.
I'm surprised our buddy Chris didn't know about this. Cause
Well,
he was always the one that find weird stuff like this.
he does, but this was not a well-known game. I mean,
Yeah,
had this been like a popular game, then yeah, he would have known. But this is one of those games where no one's ever heard of. So it's
yeah.
kind of like,
Makes
you
it kind of want to
know,
play it now and do the Easter egg. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, just to do it. Um, just
I
to
don't
do it,
know.
just to say that I've done it and I've seen it for my own eyes.
Hmm.
Not that it would do anything for me. Trust me, pixelation never did anything for me. But yeah, that's a little crazy, little
Yeah.
crazy. I I can't believe that they put that in like a game. Like it just blows my mind. Um, and
In
then
an older game to be specific, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I can expect that probably in newer games. Um, I'm going to my Discord real quick because there was another topic I wanted to talk about, but I gotta go. I think I gotta find it in the Discord.
Well,
But
while you're looking for it,
go ahead.
what kind of stuff in 2018 do you want to see in gaming? That
Oh,
that either from a game developer or a major game company or just a specific type of game. Like, what do you want to see this year?
huh. Yeah, it's gonna be funny when I say this, but I want to see. Um, I want to see them take gaming more seriously. And what I mean by that is I'm tired of people making half-ass games. Meaning I'm tired of freaking like games being broken. And see this is why like until games stop coming out so broken, like I can't even get like real excited about what's about to come because it's like I get excited for about what's to come and it gets broke. Like PUBG broke, console,
Mm.
PUBG is broke. Like it's better, but it's still broke. And it's like I went to go play PUBG yesterday on stream, and I couldn't even play a game because the game kept crashing. And so it's hard for me to say for what I would want to see because in my theory, I feel like a lot of gaming companies are just not putting in the effort to make sure that their games are well polished and well fixed before like releasing them. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna answer the question because I will. If we lived in a better time and games were better, um, and they were better produced, meaning they weren't so broken when they came out. Um, I don't know. I'm almost to the point to where like I don't know what can be done now. Um, you know, I want to see Call of Duty go to bed. Honestly, I want to see Call of
Okay.
Duty go to sleep. I'm like called. Not saying that Call of Duty's bad, but it's just time for it to go to bed. It's 10, 12 years. It's time for it to go to sleep. Um, I would like to see. I would like to see a really, really good MMO, like a really, really good MMO console MMO that would be like to where like it would almost be like on the edge of World of Warcraft, but you would have your a
Mm.
good PvP side of it. And the only reason why I say this, right, is because if you really think about it, a console game done on a World of Warcraft caliber hasn't been done on console.
I don't know. I mean, I hear Final Fantasy 14 is doing big things.
What Final Fantasy? We'll see, but see, we haven't seen it though for ourselves though. Halo
We
and
haven't, but I know people who actually play it. Well, either 14 or 11, but most people I know play 14. And I mean, honestly, they've been doing like different updates and stuff on the game itself that apparently, makes it worth playing.
mm-hmm.
I just haven't done it because I'm already kind of got my thing that I'm doing. And at the time, I didn't really want to do MMOs, at that time. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's being done. It's just being done in the form of Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, and DB said Halo and Call of Duty both need to sail away. No, I agree. I totally forgot about Halo. I totally forgot about Halo. You're totally right. I totally agree. Halo needs to go away. And as far as like first person shooters, I just want something super competitive. Like what I mean by super
So, in
competitive.
other words, no loot boxes, because that's what it's
Yeah.
come to these
Yeah,
days.
I want something like super competitive to where like I can really compete, but I can compete at my home. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to
Okay.
go. I don't know. I just want I don't know what it is, but I just want something that is more in depth and more like um more like I get more reward or more fulfillment out of winning, or like for instance, like my favorite ranking system, even though that it's a little broke, is the Overwatch ranking system. It's tough, it's competitive, um, but I would like to see that in some kind of first person, or not first person, but first person shooter rather than just Overwatch. Um, you know, I don't know how they would do it. I don't know how they would do it because, like I said, even Overwatch's ranking system is a little funky, but I like the idea of it. To where like you have your matches, and but it doesn't just base on how you it doesn't just base you on how you like if you win or you lose. It bases you on how you play your character and how well you play your character and how well you play that that division you're in. So, say for instance, you might have like 10 wins, right? But you may play that character like poop. You may play that division like poop. So you're still ranked low. You know what I'm saying? Or you may
Yeah.
lose. You may lose a lot, but you may be beast with your character and you may be beast with that division. So I like you do well. You perform well. I don't know. I just feel like right now, like a lot of games that are out right now, like you don't really get a lot of
Are not
reward.
competitive.
Yeah, that's just not like the only like the two most competitive games or the three most competitive games I play right now is Fortnite, PUBG, and Overwatch. Call of Duty is like not even in the mix. Like to me, I just don't feel like. Okay, so let me rephrase this. Yes, Call of Duty has pros, and we have all these pro things going on, but you have to enter into that. You have to you have to go somewhere. You have to travel. When you're playing Call of Duty at home, and you're sitting at home and you are in your atmosphere, you don't feel that competitiveness. There's nothing on the line. There's no big reward. There's no oh my Jesus moment. You know what I mean? There's no you're not risking anything. So I feel like there needs to
Mm.
be now whether that's money, I don't know. Whether I don't know what that is, but there's got to be something that that can make not necessarily Call of Duty, but there's a game that would be something like that. That's got to bring more competitiveness to the um, to the console player at home. That makes them want to become that competitive player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because right
Well,
now,
as far as
go
playing
ahead.
on console, I don't know if they would be willing to do cash, but they could still do like, game currency to
Right,
where kind of like what you were talking about with the whole rewards a few episodes back about doing like achievements, you would get X amount of money or like game bucks. You
right,
could do something like that for console games online.
yeah,
Like have a little scene where, if you log in from like let's say 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. in this tournament and you do well, you get X amount of like game bucks or something.
yeah, definitely. I could see something like that. Now, as far as
It sounds like that's kind of where you're going with
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I mean, as far as game development, like okay, like I'm not really excited about Sea of Thieves. I'm not really excited about all these games that are coming out, and I'm not excited about VR. So, game development, I mean, I'm just riding with the wave right now, seeing, seeing what gets development. But when it comes to game development itself, like I feel like everything has been done. I don't know. How do you feel?
yeah.
Like I'm almost to the point to where like I almost want to buy a Nintendo Switch because I feel like
And see,
that's where I feel like all the where all the newness is at.
and I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna basically say that Nintendo really doesn't even need to do anything. Like, not to say they shouldn't make games, but Nintendo did so much in 2017 with like Breath of the Wild, a new Mario game. I mean, Nintendo, in my opinion, probably did better than any other like console company in 2017. Now, Sony was a good competitor, I'd say. They came out with some solid titles too, but like Nintendo, just it almost seemed like Nintendo wanted to make sure that they had like the best games of the year, which is basically what happened.
Right.
I mean, so at this point, Nintendo can just chill and let Sony and Microsoft catch up. Now, some things that could put Nintendo on the map would be like a new Metroid game, maybe a new Smash Brothers port or something. But Nintendo really doesn't even have to do a lot. They just need to do their regular formula. Maybe focus a little more on mobile since that's been kind of making them money lately or whatever. But don't go too crazy. But Nintendo can take their time this year. So I'm glad you brought up Nintendo because honestly, Nintendo went hard in 2017.
Nintendo and Nintendo surprised everybody. You know,
Yeah,
except for like the hardcore fans like and stuff.
yeah,
But like people like me, I was like really surprised. I've ironically enough, my two nephews, they got 3DSs for Christmas. So like
yeah.
that was their first console or that's their first gaming system. They got it for Christmas. They got the Pokemon games. They got
Cool.
Pokemon Starfire or some I don't know. But so they were playing the crap out of that. And then they also got Mario Kart, which
Nice.
I snuck Mario Kart and I was playing Mario Kart. They're like, "How are you so good at this game, Uncle?" And I was like, "Man, this game's been around since I was your age." But it looks so
Yep.
brand new. I'm like, it's just a different version of it. uh,
Yep.
uh, but I mean, as far as like game, like, see, and maybe that's why I'm like, just like, because I feel like Microsoft and PlayStation, they wasted all this time just making consoles. But really, what good is a console if you really don't have a good game to give it life?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's the game that sells. Like when a new system comes out, I'm not excited about the system. I'm excited about the games that could potentially come out of that system. Like when a new Sony system comes out, I'm waiting for the next Final Fantasy. When a Nintendo system comes out, I'm waiting for the next Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers, Fire Emblem, whatever. You know what I mean? And with
Right.
Microsoft, they really don't have much in exclusive titles. To be honest with you, I've never really cared for Microsoft. I mean, the only Microsoft game that I've really ever gotten hardcore into was Gears
Gears
of
of
War,
War.
the original one, and that was mainly because I actually was good at it and was competitive. But other than that, I could have cared less about Microsoft products. Like I really was not impressed at all. Like I was more into Sony and Nintendo, and still am. I mean, even though most of my products are now more Sony based, that's really just due to lack of finances. I would have Nintendo products if I had the money,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but it's just one of those things where like Microsoft really needs to step it up with good games and stop trying to mess with technology, like and just put out some titles that's like, yeah, that's Microsoft. That's why they're in business. I need to be able to say that, and
Yeah,
I just
like
can't say that with
it's
Microsoft.
hard to identify. Like if you really was to sit down and really look about it, like if you really think about it, there's only two games that identify Microsoft.
Halo.
Halo, well, yeah, Halo. Yeah, it's just one. Halo. Halo. Any other game you could find pretty much on any other system. Because
I mean, they have a few exclusive titles, but they're not big.
no,
That's what it is.
I mean, I don't know. What are you looking forward to?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I'm already getting what I want out of this year. They have a new Mega Man game, which I'm a huge Mega Man fan, so that's coming out this year. Hyped about that. They have a new fighting game that's based off an anime, which is Dragon Ball Fighters. I'm anxious to see that. So I have a fun fighting game to play, a fun Mega Man to play. I'm pretty much solid. I mean, I don't need another Final Fantasy because I've already got one, so they don't need to rush to make the next one. Take your time on that. There's really not a whole lot that I'm looking for in general. Like I said, Nintendo's pretty much done everything they needed to, at least for a good year until like 2019 when they should start going big again. But I mean, there's really not much I can ask for at this point because there are. I mean, what I want is already being delivered. Just good games that I want to play. A
Right,
good
right.
fighter. I've already got an RPG that I'd like to play if I ever get a Nintendo product, which is that new was it
Xenos.
Xenoblade Chronicles or something like that? I
Yeah.
forgot.
Mhm.
When I brought it up a few episodes back, but I mean, so I have a new RPG that I could play if I bought the system. You know what I mean? So I already got like good things. It's just that my wishes are done, but for the gaming community in general, I just feel like Sony and Microsoft need to step it up just a little bit. Now, Sony's not doing bad. I'm not trying to talk crap about Sony. I mean, they had some decent titles too that were really, really, really good. I just think that they need to stop with all the shooter clones and focus on something else. With the shooters that they have, just focus on making them better, but come up with something new. Something to bring people in. I am a little curious about some of the co-op games that they're coming out with in the future. I can't think of what they're called, but there's like two games. Like there's one game where it's basically it's a two-player co-op game where you're basically doing these two people's lives who break out of prison or whatnot, and it's really really focused on like two people doing two different things on a split screen, but it seems really really in depth. I think that's a new thing in technology, or maybe just in gaming in general, that could be a new avenue for people to enjoy. Is just a two-player co-op game that's not
Mhm.
necessarily online. um, so I mean that's a thing to look forward to, I guess.
I'm
And then
looking.
of course,
I guess if we're gonna talk about game, the one game that I'm looking forward to is, but I don't know if I'm looking forward to actually play it or watch it, is the new God of War. If I'm to think about any like one player games, I'm thinking of God of War, just because I don't know, the God of War series has always been pretty awesome.
yeah, it
Uh,
has.
and I think this is pretty cool that he's actually gonna have a kid. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I feel like this year is all gonna be saturated around VR still trying to take off, and
uh,
I'm just ready for it to die already. Cause you know, I'm not a fan of VR. Not that I've played VR. I just know that eventually I'm not gonna be able to play VR. So I,
why waste your time? Yeah.
I don't want VR to be in the mainstream of gaming. I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. Huh?
I don't think VR is going to be a big thing. I think they're going to try to push it, but I don't think that it's going to get behind that high paywall plus accessibility. I just don't see it happening. Maybe 2019, but not 2018. Not happening.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
just don't see it.
I don't know. And I guess for consoles, like, this is gonna be weird, but I want us to be able to upgrade our own consoles. Um, like instead of like having to buy a whole new console, I want us to
Mm-hmm.
be able to interchange the parts and just you know make them. Um, and kind of like computers, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I want to upgrade the graphics card. Okay, go ahead, do it. I want to upgrade this. Okay, do it. Uh,
I mean,
because
if there's one thing they can focus on, maybe is memory. Because with people like you who don't like digital or who don't like physical copies and want digital copies, make systems with better space. Because that seems to be one of the biggest downfalls of people who have digital copies is that some consoles just don't have enough space to hold all the games they want to play.
well, I mean, yeah, and they kind of did make it easier. I mean, so I can't really argue that. They made it to where like you can now just like get an external hard drive, like a USB external hard drive,
Yeah,
like a big one,
like
a
a
four,
card, so to speak. Yeah,
like a four. You can get like a 4 terabyte for like $40, and
that's pretty good.
you can plug it in on the side. At
Well,
least
that's good.
at this point, Handy is still console, or at this point, Handy is it's still a console or a PC. Well, I mean, if you think about it, right? If you really think about it, right? PC stands for personal computer, right? Really, what is the difference between a console and a personal PC? I could do everything on my PC pretty much except for this level. I could do on my um console. I could edit, I can make YouTube videos. Close network. Are you talking about on online? I didn't. Oh, I guess that's true, huh? I guess that does make a point. So, okay, here's my next question. Since you know a lot more about this, why do they not make consoles closed network? That's the question for just DB. I can't answer that question. Um, I don't know nothing about open and closed network. You would have to be able to answer that question. Uh, Consoles are a closed network. Oh, so PCs are open network? Huh, interesting. Interesting. And while you answer that question, I'm gonna go to this next story. I okay. So this story is coming from CNN, but it came from it's a CNN article. So, but it came from one of our viewers. I'm just gonna report on it. I don't know necessarily how I feel about it. Um, as I read it again, it kind of rubs me the wrong way, only because I don't believe it to be. I don't even think there is, and I want somebody to identify in me what this disorder is. But apparently, who to recognize gaming disorder as a mental health condition in 2018. First of all, what is a gaming disorder? Somebody help me out. What is a gaming disorder? This,
So I think they're probably talking about people who are just addicted to playing video games, where they dedicate all of their time outside of work or school to just gaming, and they avoid social things or social gatherings. I guess and I guess they feel that that's a disorder
that's
because they
fine.
feel that people need to be a little more social as opposed to being at home playing game. Is my assumption. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more to it.
I read the
But I think
article
that's
and
it.
not once could it explain to me what a gaming disorder was. But it was like telling me why they feel like the gaming disorder was.
But that might be just a general term. I think it's not just one thing. I think it's multiple problems that they've probably noticed in gaming in general. I think is what it is. That's why they haven't been able to give you a definition because it encompasses a lots of different things, whether it's playing too much, whether it's gambling to some degree, with loot boxes and whatnot, because, we've already talked about how a lot of people are saying that it's considered gambling. So, I mean, it probably encompasses a lot of different things.
Yeah. So, do you think? Okay. So this is a good top because here's my thing, right? I think gaming helps a lot of disorders. I don't think gaming
Hmm.
is a disorder, and I don't think it's a mental health because we all get that game that we want to play for hours and hours and hours in, but it doesn't
Hmm.
consume our life. Um, I don't know. Maybe to some people it does, but for me, I feel like it helps more people than it doesn't. And thank you, Diesel Girl, for that host. You are the person that gave me that article, and I'm reading on it. And mind you, I skimmed through it, um, um, cause I didn't know if we were gonna report on it today, cause I didn't know about Bezoid. But anyway, so and I saw your comment there, DB. You said that the reason why the ping is so bad on consoles is because they're behind the firewall. Well, I wonder if you could disable the firewall though. But that's another question for another day. It doesn't consume our lives, but for someone with addictive personality disorder, the games are just their um, chosen addiction. But isn't that with anything with somebody that they enjoy? Um, now,
Whether it be like smoking, whether it be gambling, I mean, that just
sex.
seems
I
being
mean,
addicted in general.
yeah.
That's
I
not
mean,
really a specific gaming thing.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like to me, that's not. To me, that is just an addictive personality, and it doesn't matter what you do. You're gonna replace it with something. So to me, like, you know, like, why put that on gaming? I don't see personally. I see gaming helping a lot of um, mental health issues um, what you call it, as OCD or not OCD, um, like PTSD, um, social anxiety. Um, I see it helping with depression. I see it help with, um, all these things where people have a hard time like opening up and speaking out and like becoming themselves. I feel like it helps people be um, more aware of themselves and more open up and to speak, because a lot of times people are afraid to speak or go out in public and do certain things. But I think like gaming can give you that security to where you are able to have a conversation with somebody about something that you necessarily wouldn't have been able to have out in public because of your um, disability or your mental health. Now, hold on. What did he say? Everything is something one, but when it takes over your everyday life, I believe it is that is a whole other level. Um, at the expense of other things such as personal health and hygiene. No, I agree, but at the same time, no. I guess where I'm coming from is that is like that person is already dealing with that disorder to begin with, and that disorder had nothing to do with gaming uh, to begin with. That disorder just found gaming to latch onto, if that makes sense. Like that person's gonna do that regardless.
They just have an avenue in which to do it. It's kind of like, I want to say that the first time where this was probably a huge deal that I can remember was when World of Warcraft came out. because there were a lot of people, and this is actually one of the reasons I avoided MMOs to begin with, is I knew people whose life was so dedicated to World of Warcraft that they wouldn't go out or do nothing, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and that was scary. You know what I mean? I was like, I like video games, but not to the point to where I that's all I want to do. Like, there are other things in life I enjoy doing. Like, I like going to bars and shooting pool every now and then, or going bowling, or going out to eat with people, or just doing other activities. Like, I actually like doing other things besides gaming. Gaming just happens to be my favorite hobby.
right. No,
You
yeah,
know,
exactly. Like,
and that's kind of what it is. I chose for a long time not to play MMOs because I didn't want to be one of those people that was so addicted that I wouldn't have a life. Like, I'd rather have a life. You know what I mean?
and
Uh,
and see, and that's what I mean. Like, and like, because in reality, gaming is not a drug. I feel like that a lot of times that people already had that problem anyway, and that was just their, like, for instance, there's people addicted to alcohol, but then once they, it's like what they tell you, like when my mother was in rehab, right? Because you know, like, I've dealt with somebody with addiction firsthand, and they tell you this. They say, yes, you could stop doing what you're doing, but if you don't get help for your addictive personality, you're just gonna find something else to replace it, and it doesn't matter. They said until you actually
yeah,
get help for your actual addictive personality, you're not, just because you're not doing the drug no more doesn't mean you're you're
you're
healed.
better.
You're better.
Yeah.
You're just gonna find something that replaces it, and that's why I feel like a lot of people are right now with this situation, is that it's not really the gaming that has become the drug, but it's just their addictive personalities that have and they have chosen gaming to replace their other drug that they used to be addicted to, whether it be alcohol, whether it be sex. Because I mean, let's face it, sex is part of marriage. Sex is real, but just because people get addicted to sex, that doesn't make sex bad. But what makes sex bad is people with addictive personalities. You know,
Hmm.
we are very close. Well, we're not close to them no more, but we have a friend that has addictive personality, and and it doesn't matter what he does. He could be eating peanuts. If it's something that is taking that place of what he's doing that is bad, he will um he will have like he'll eat that whole thing of peanuts within like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? I wonder why they haven't called out television a watching disorder. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And and I'm gonna be honest with you. Twitch has a lot of Twitch has a lot to play with, some addiction of it. Um, you know, um, because, like, you have people that are starving to get partnership. Don't get me wrong, I want to get partnered just as bad as anybody else. Y'all that know my heart, y'all know how bad I want to get partnered. But it's not worth me spending 24 hours a day on Twitch. Um, you know, 24 hours a day on Twitch to get the partnership. It's just
Hmm.
not. My health's more important. Like, like for me, when I was sick this last week, I'm sorry if it offended anybody, but I purposely like disconnected from Twitter as much as possible and disconnected from Twitch altogether. Why? Because my health's more important. And I knew
Hmm.
that if I would have been involved in Twitch and other people's stuff and hanging out and stuff, I wouldn't have been focusing on me getting better. I wouldn't have been focusing on me. And to be honest with you, that step away was really, really good. I mean, yeah, I missed you guys. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. But for my body, for my health, for my mental, for just for my well-being, it was good to just step away and turn off. And I feel like a lot of times, when you have stuff like Twitch and you have like this way to, I mean, in a sense, to become famous, to become somebody, to become an a figure in the gaming community, or you are a figure in the gaming community, you feel like you have to be on all the time, and you don't. And that's why I tweeted this one thing out, and it was like last week, and it said, your numbers don't matter. It's about the person who you are and who you are as a person. And, but a lot of people get it twisted because they think it's about, it's about numbers. I got to have these numbers to be, like, partnered on Twitch. At the end of the day, if you can have the numbers, you can meet all the requirements that you have for Twitch. And Twitch could still sit there and say, you know what? We're sorry. We're not going to partner you. So, and I'm speaking this to somebody. I don't know who I'm speaking this to. But, so, at the end of the day, you got to just step away and just enjoy life. And when it comes, it comes. But, like I said, I feel like Twitch and, views on YouTube, all that stuff kind of plays a factor to sometimes where people feel like they have to be on all the time. Now, granted, I still feel like I don't think gaming itself is a disorder, and I don't think gaming itself is a mental health. I just feel like, that they are masking it with something else. It's like they're saying, video games promotes violence and gaming makes people want to kill people. No. There was already somebody sick. There was already somebody sick in the head, that was feeling the way that they were feeling, that made them do that.
Yeah. It's like, when they say guns kill people, no, people kill people. The
right, exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Video games are just an object. You are usually the problem, or you're upgrading your situation, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you make a choice on what you do. So that's really what that boils down to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, music. Yeah, and then music was blamed. Eminem made me go and kill this person. I remember that. Eminem made me go kill this cop. Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Mm-hmm. And those are the people that don't want to admit it to themselves that they have a problem. And when
they give us a bad name.
Right. And then if you don't admit you have a problem, then like, I don't know. It's like, if you don't admit you have a problem and you don't understand your problem, then you got to know to not subject yourself to certain things. Like people like that are addicted to pornography or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you can't go walking into a strip club, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. You gotta be real with yourself. You can't, and I feel like that's what's going on with the world a lot of times is, instead of like taking responsibilities of who we are and what we are and what's wrong with us, we
find something to blame.
We gotta blame something else, or we gotta blame somebody or something, or we gotta sue them instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's get rich off of it.
Let's get rich off of it because, I remember I was a while back, somebody was suing a gaming company because their wife left them. And because they were playing games too much. It's not the game's fault. It's not the game's fault. It's your fault because you don't want to, take responsibility. Like, marriage takes work. It doesn't matter if your marriage is good. It doesn't matter if your marriage is wherever your state of your marriage is. Marriage always takes work all the time. And if you are not, if you're spending your time doing something, no matter what it is, you could be working like 50-hour weeks. Okay, guess what? That's taking some time from your marriage. So does that mean you quit your job? No. That means you have to go and you have to make time for your marriage or somewhere else. You You have to make time for yourself somewhere else. You gotta make time. If you're gonna put time and effort into other things, this is why, like, after I'm done streaming, where do you see me? I'm putting time in other things because these certain things take work. Yourself takes work. Your marriage takes work. Being a father takes work. All these things take work. You can't just put 100 hours into something and then expect everything else to work. Like, you can't put 100 hours into something and then just magically your bills get paid. You know, and that's what people just don't understand. You have to learn to balance. Everything in life has a balance. You know, that's why they sit there and tell you everything. It doesn't matter what you drink, what you do. Everything has to be in moderation. I've been talking to my lawyer about suing my kids for causing my baldness. Yeah, you see this? Yes, you see this? I totally agree with you. If you get a portion in that lawsuit, you let me know. Cause I need some. Oh, speaking of kids and baldness, another thing that I wanted to bring up, I thought was really cool. By the way, my wife starts her job this week. Actually,
Yay.
this Monday. You know what they offer in her package? They will actually reimburse you the money if you decide to adopt a child. I thought that was pretty freaking. I thought that was really freaking cool.
That is cool.
I'm suing for back. You're suing for back installments. That's what's up. But yeah, you got to do everything with moderation. Yes, I stream a lot. Yes, I play a lot of games, but I also put a lot of time into my marriage. A lot of time into my marriage that you don't see. I've also put a lot of time into being a father. A lot of times that you guys don't see. This is why you guys don't see me doing IRL streams and stuff like this. You know, I love doing Twitch. So therefore my YouTube lacks because it's like you can't put 100% into two things. It mathematically doesn't add up. 100% into both things, that's 200%. In all actuality, 200% really doesn't exist. So you really got to think about it. Like, you have to learn to balance your life and balance the things that you want to do, or you're going to be a mess. I feel like that's why I feel like people are just making excuses. And please, I'm not knocking nobody that's on a disability check, because I'm on a disability check. But I feel like it's another way for the people to get another easy way to get a disability check. And then it stops from people that like really do have mental disorders or really do have disabilities. You know, oh, let me just go to the SSI and say that I'm addicted to video games. Because in all reality, how can you prove or disprove that you're not addicted to video games? I mean, in all reality, if we all really sit down and think about it, if this is really a disorder, right? If this is really a disorder, even if you don't own a console, and you don't have a awesome PC, 90% of us are on our phones at all times. So what, is there going to be a phone disorder? Because really, guess what? That's what we're all really addicted to. That's what we all really can't separate ourselves from, is our phones. So is there going to be a mental health issue on that? I mean, but see, I just thought that was funny because they didn't bring that up in the article. Nobody wants to really bring up like bring up video games. What about cell phones? Like, we absolutely have to have our cell phones around us at all times. I challenge somebody, and if you do this, I'll do it with you. I challenge you to go 30 days without your phones and see how well you do. 30 days without your cell phone. 30 days without your cell phone. There's a show that me and my wife watch, and we've actually thought about doing it. It's called Strip. Pretty much what happens is they strip you from like everything. It's on the Bravo network. I don't know what time it comes on because me and my wife always watch it when it family members would have to provide proof. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. But it comes on the Bravo network. I don't know what time because me and my wife watch a lot of stuff on demand. Because a lot of stuff that me and my wife like to watch, we can't watch when my daughter's awake. But anyway, it's about like it could be a couple of it could be a group of people, it could be like 4 people, could be like 2 people, it could be 1 person. But anyway, what ends up happening is they come to, if you sign up to do this, they come into your house and they take everything from you. Like they take everything. Like you can't even use your stove, nothing. And they provide you with like meal supplements for 30 days. And it's even all the way to like they take all your clothes. Like you're literally naked. Like your first day you're naked. And each day of the 30 days you have to go and walk like 5 miles to the storage shed. And you're allowed to get one thing a day. And for that one, and then so you have to try to survive for like 30 days. And you have to try and see how you would do with like, having the bare necessities and like getting, the one thing you need a day. It's really cool because even your stove is included as one thing. Your refrigerator is included as one thing, and it really puts it into perspective, like what really people. It really puts in perspective what people like want to get first. Like there was like this one episode, like the first thing that this person got was their laptop. They didn't have no toothpaste. They didn't have no deodorant. They didn't have no clothes. They didn't have nothing. But the first thing they wanted was their laptop because they were missing out on what was going on their Twitter or what was going on for work. And me and my wife were like, really? And then there was like a bunch of couples. There was like a bunch of couples that were just like, they didn't have nothing to sleep on, but yet they had like all their designer boots and their designer dresses and stuff like that and their makeup. Like what? Wow. And I'm like, see, and this is what I'm saying. It's like it's not that like these things are like people have like mental problems. It's just we're so weirdly caught up in the society that our priorities are jacked up. I was telling my wife the first thing I would have nabbed up, well, if they would allow, I don't know, they may allow me to have my wheelchair, but the first thing I would have nabbed up would have been the bed. Then the second thing would have been the toothpaste and then like all the bathroom stuff. And then, and then we would work on like getting the food. And then like we would work together to get the clothes and stuff. Because if you're a couple, each of you can get an item. Like my phone, my laptop, all that stuff would be like very, very last. But you see, and I was explaining to my wife, I was like, that would, I've survived though. Because you remember the flood. You remember the flood in 98. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I was there.
You was there. You had a place to go. I didn't. I was in the shelter for like 30 days. To where all we had was a pillow. All we had was a pillow and a gym floor. And the way we ate was whether they gave us food or not. And sometimes we had food, sometimes we didn't. And dude, I remember I was just happy to brush my teeth. I didn't even care that it was a pink toothbrush. So I guess the moral of the story is like, I don't know, sometimes people do have disorders, but a lot of times I just feel like it's just
people just don't have their priorities straight. That's all.
Yeah, people just don't have their priorities straight. But here's a question for you, OG. If you had, and then we'll slowly start ending the podcast here. If you were stripped down to nothing, and you could get one item a day, what would be your first item?
Honestly, I would be more concerned with food stuff, so I would actually work on stuff for the kitchen,
Okay.
whether it be like a working stove, a microwave, like whatever, but something where I can actually prepare meals. Because at the end of the day, we need food to have energy to do stuff. And then of course I would probably work on bedding afterwards, and then bathroom stuff or whatnot.
Don't forget you're
But
doing all this while you're naked, too, mind you.
well, yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the temperature at the time. Like if it's super cold, then yeah, I'm gonna go for clothes first. But if it's hot, I'm not worried about clothes. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
hot. So that really just depends on the weather. But you know, if we're talking like nothing as far as weather related is an issue, I would actually focus more on food and hygiene and bedding,
yep,
and then go with the clothes afterwards. Like I'm
yeah.
not really worried about the clothes part
Yeah, me
unless
neither.
it's
I'm very like I'm very comfortable naked. Like seriously, like it doesn't, But it was weird, like how some people were just like the first thing they grabbed was clothes, but then they grabbed like, uh, what was the question? We're talking about a show that's called Stripped, and basically what sparked the question up is because a lot of people are saying, they're addicted to this and addicted to that. But the question is, if you had to go without 30 days without nothing, like you were stripped, you had nothing, you had no clothes or no nothing, and you could get one item a day, what would be the first item you would get? You guys need to go check out this show. I'm telling you, go to Bravo, go to On Demand, check out Stripped, and it'll blow your mind what people get. And there was a person that had over 3,000 items in their house, and like 500 of them items was makeup. Makeup. Oh my Jesus. So yeah, I don't know. The first thing I would get would be the bed, because I can't sleep on a hard floor, at all, like with my hip and stuff. And then I would go in, the toiletries and stuff, and the food and stuff like that.
yeah.
A Swiss, Carrie Mink said a Swiss Army knife with all the fancy attachments. That's day one. Well, you would have to have the Swiss Army knife with all the attachments. These are all your items. You're able to get all your items back, one item back, one a day. Yeah, me and my wife thought about doing it though. I thought about doing it. It would seem like a cool challenge to do. OG, you have any other stories you want to talk about?
No, not particularly. I think this would be a good way to end it for the day.
All right. Well, sorry, Carrie Meek. I know you just came in at the last minute, but we are going to end the podcast. I'll go ahead and let you take us out, bud.
Well, once again, I do want to, thank everyone for listening into the podcast. We do appreciate everybody who, shows up, provides feedback. That's something we always appreciate. And we also do appreciate everyone else who's going to be watching the video later, like on YouTube and other such, media devices. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen to us. It means a lot to us as well. So, if you ever want to join, we're always here Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Central on Twitch TV, on the basically Handy Kill Cam's channel. So just look for him on his channel. You'll be able to catch us live as we're doing our thing, and you can make your comments and ask your question and do biddies.
and drop the biddies and throw your money at the screen as a new song.
Throw your money at the screen. Yeah, gotta find that song.
Yeah, I know. I gotta make it.
Gotta make it.
I will be at Able Gamers tomorrow. I'm most likely gonna play Overwatch just because that's the game I've fallen back in love with. Also, I'm going to be making a YouTube video. I'm going to be making 2 YouTube videos this week. Be on the lookout. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you so much for the biddies. Look at all the biddies. Thank y'all for the biddies. Thank you for the biddies. Let's go. Man, thank you for the biddies. Look at all them biddies. I am gonna be making a YouTube video this week. One video is going to be on how to get Kodi on your Xbox One and to get the movies. Y'all know that I've been a Kodi user for a while, and they just released Kodi on the Xbox, on the Xbox One and the Xbox One X. I don't promote it, but some people are wanting to know how to do it, and I'm gonna do a how-to video, and then I'm gonna be doing some Injustice 2 videos. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, and then I'll see you guys later, and we will go. I feel like hosting somebody. We haven't hosted somebody after the podcast in a while, so let's go host somebody.
Go.
Let's
That'll work.
see who's on right now. Who be on? And thank you, Diesel Girl, for dropping the knowledge of the
Dropping that news.
the news of the article. I definitely encourage you guys, if there's a topic you guys want us to debate about or talk about, don't feel free to drop it in the Discord. Diesel Girl does it all the time, and it's very much appreciative. There's like pretty much no topic we won't talk about.
As far as gaming related, of course.
Well, yeah, I mean, we kind of went a little bit left today. We were talking about stock markets today, and we were talking about California. So I mean, there's really nothing we won't talk about.
Yeah.
Let's see. I rated that person yesterday. There's no subs on right now. A little friendly reminder: if you're a sub, you automatically get rated priorities, and then also, don't know if you noticed, but it's 20% off subs.
So 20% off.
20% off. So go sub to your favorite streamer. It don't have to be me. You can be whoever you want it to be. I guess we're gonna go raid this person. I haven't rated this person in a while, and they're
raid or host.
Same thing. Same
Okay.
thing. It's all the same thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Wait. Where'd it go? Oh, there they are. All right. They're playing Fortnite.
There you go. That's a good game.
That is. You enjoy that game, don't you?
Yeah, I've actually watched some of your videos, especially the ones where you're actually talking with other people, and it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be making more of those videos. All right, so in 5, 4, 3, 2,